Yes, welcome back everybody. It's a beautiful day out today and I want to go ahead and just touch base with you guys on what I was talking to you guys on my last video. So, really quickly, the first step into really starting anything is to really find that meaning. But before we get into the meaning, I want to go ahead and backtrack because before you even get a meaning of why you're going after something in life, you got to find a space. I like to call this having that space in your life where you know where you are and where you know where you're going to, because once you find that space, you're going to go from A to B. Now, you don't want to just go from A to B because what's usually going to happen is you're going to crash. You're going to get from A to B and that's it. You're going to have to keep on climbing, keep on making those new goals, and you got to set new goals, set new dreams, right? Oh, maybe this week is about getting 100 followers on your YouTube channel or on your Twitter, whatever it is. And then next week I want to go to 200. Whatever it might be, you want to go ahead and keep on climbing. So the first part before we even get into the meaning, like I said, is you got to find that space in your life that you're not really satisfied with, that you want, that you know, and you want to keep on climbing and improving on. That could be your weight. Like, you could just really easily be saying, I'm fat and I'm obese and I gotta lose this weight because if I don't, I'm probably gonna end up in the hospital before I get anywhere else. So, you gotta get serious about this. That's the first part, is finding that space in your life of where you are and where you want to get to. If you don't find that space, and if you don't have that space, then you really don't have space in your life, which means that you, just like in life itself, if you don't have space, you can barely breathe. So you gotta find that space so that you can breathe and you can say, yeah, I'm gonna go after. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take whatever I gotta do to go after this goal. So that's the first part. You gotta find that space. You gotta be honest with yourself. You can't just say that something's like okay or it's alright, because you're just not gonna get to it. Something's horrible, something in your life, you gotta hate it. You gotta hate the way that you look when you look into the mirror, and you know that you got plus size jeans on, right? Plus size whatever clothes it is on. And these are clothes that are not making you feel happy. These are not the clothes that you want to keep on buying because they're costing more money. They're costing you more money in your health insurance, right? So you want to really get serious and you want to be honest about this stuff. You got to say, I'm not going to be paying for this. I'm not going to be paying for this clothes. I'm not going to be paying for this fat because, you know, in order to keep the fat, you know that it's expensive too, because you're going to have to keep on feeding yourself over and over again, because it's just all this stuff that's been building up for you that you have to clear out. And this is any aspect in any part of your life. We're talking about your finances. We're talking about your career. You've been building it up for it to be so bad. You probably have so much debt. You just hate your job so much, and you can't wait to get out of there. So you want to find that space. You want to say, all right, I'm ready, I'm done. I got to find that area where I want to go to. So you want to go from A to B. So find that space. Find that for wherever you are. I talked to you guys about this in my first video. Where are you right now? That's super important. Where are you? Are you at this point where you're just like, I'm celebrating the victory? Or are you at that point where you're just like, I gotta start. I gotta figure out where I am, and I gotta figure out where I gotta go to. So it does not matter where you are. You can be at the victory and you want to figure out what to do next. Could be finding that next marathon. Could be finding that next triathlon. Could be finding a better gym. Could be finding a gym where they're doing, you know, bodybuilding or whatever it is. You can find whatever step it is. You gotta figure out where it is that you really want to direct your life. Which way do you want to go in it? So that's step one, number one, before we get into that meaning. Alright, now we're gonna jump into the meaning. So before we get to the meaning, you guys got that part. That's super important. I cannot stress this enough. You gotta find that space in your life. If you don't have space, like I said, you're not breathing, you're not finding that space, you're not thinking clearly. Okay? The next part is the meaning. Now, the meaning is super important. I talked to you guys about this in the last video. The meaning is where you find out, what does this mean for you? Does this mean freedom? Does this mean liberation? Right? When slaves started to get free, this meant freedom for the entire black race. This meant that they could, when one person got free, then they all started thinking, whoa, we got freedom, right? When the first people started just ignoring it, they started just going for it. What did that mean for them? That meant freedom. Not just for them. Not just for them, but for their entire community, for their entire race. So what does this goal, what does this dream really mean to you? Does this mean freedom? Not only for yourself, freedom from, let's say, your debt, freedom from the fat that you've been accumulating, freedom from the job that you just, you know what, I can have the money, but I cannot have this job. So does that mean freedom? Does that mean liberation for yourself? So let me turn you guys on to a movie really quickly. I you know, I love this movie. I want to keep you guys interested in this stuff because this is stuff that really makes sense to me, and I think it'll make sense to you too. So I want to turn you guys into this movie that you've probably seen. I hope you've seen it. If you haven't seen it, please go out and get it. It's so inspirational. I love it. Every time that I watch it, it really just touches me because it's like, whoa. You know, I live in New York City. I've seen people who are probably going through this stuff. And yeah, there's probably been parts of my life where I've gone through it too. The Pursuit of Happiness. One of my favorite films. I love what this character does in the movie. Will Smith portrays his character so well and what the guy actually goes through. And there's this one scene that I always remember because listen, I don't remember when exactly it happened or how it happened, but it's happened a few times where it's like, maybe not just to me, but maybe to you guys, where it's like, in this scene, he gets hit by a car. He gets hit by a car. He loses his shoe, right? He gets back up. He goes to the interview without his shoe. Then he has to go and pick up his son. Now, it's funny right now because, listen, I've gone through stuff like that. Maybe not exactly like that. But there's been instances where it's like, oh my gosh, I missed the train. What the F am I going to do now? So don't let stuff like that get in the way. You can't let those small things bother you, right? Look what happens in the movie. He gets hit by a car. The guy's trying to go ahead and help him and see if he wants help or something. Will Smith's character's like, I got an interview, dude. I cannot worry about this. I got an interview. And what else is going on in the movie? Well, he does what we were talking about in the first part. He finds that space. Right? Will Smith's character finds that space of where he is and where he wants to go to. Where he is in a horrible relationship, number one. Where he is that he doesn't have the finances straight, number two. And where he is, number three, is that he's got a child. And he wants the best for that child. And he's not settling for it until he gets to the next step. Then he can go ahead and, you know, he can do whatever he wants maybe after that. But he's got to get those things. He found that space. What also comes up in the movie is the meaning. You know, what he attaches, what the meaning is for him. In the movie, it means freedom. Freedom from his relationship, right? He ends a relationship, it's done. So it's freedom from him because, yeah, he doesn't have to deal through that. He doesn't have to put himself through that pain. It also means freedom from financial burden. It means that he can go ahead and maybe get his child out of school and put him in a better school, in a better daycare. So, it's a beautiful movie. I love it. And as you can there's so many instances where he just does not give up. It's a great character to just follow. He gets all this momentum, gets all this drive, keeps on going. And that leads me to the next part of this whole meaning thing, is that you gotta decide. In the movie, Will Smith's character also decides. He decides, listen, if a car hit me, I cannot let it stop me. He doesn't let the car accident stop him. He keeps on going. So why I bring this up is because you gotta decide. You gotta get serious. You gotta decide that if you're gonna work on your relationship, that whatever happened in the past does not equal what's going on right now. It doesn't equal what's possible in the future. So, I'm serious about this stuff. The decision part is one of the most important parts. If you decided that you're going to start your career, you're going to start your own business, you're going to start whatever it is, you got to decide. And when you decide, you're ready, you've cut off everything else that's already bothered you that's going to stop you from getting to your goal because you're so committed to this that you decided. When you decide, you commit. So, we want to really make that decision. You want to really jump into it. You don't want to just say, "Whoa, you know, this person said this. I can't believe it." That's it. And then you get unfocused from your goals. So you want to decide. When you decide, you're going to keep that focus. When you decide, you also stay focused. You don't say, "Well, yeah, you know, that new phone's looking pretty good. Maybe I go ahead and get that new iPod or that BlackBerry," whatever it is, because you've decided and you said, "No. Listen. I can't let anything else come in my way. I'm so focused. I decided that I'm going after my goal. I don't have to worry about my phone right now because my business, my family, whatever it is that you've decided on, whatever that goal is for you, you want to create happiness in your family, you want to spend more time with your family, whatever it is, you've decided. So you're not going to let anything else come in the way between you and your goal because now you got decision. And Will Smith's character also does this, like I said. He decided, he said, "No, I'm going for that test." Right? And he goes for the test, he studies his butt off, but he decided that that's what he wanted because he took the other steps. He said he found that space. He knew what the meaning was, and he decided, and he stuck to it. So, that's all I got for you guys today, and it's super easy and super simple, so jump up and just celebrate this. You found this stuff, alright? If you want to get more serious, write this stuff down. Get a piece of paper, write where you are and where you want to get to. Those two things, those are really easy to do. Number two, find that meaning. What is it going to mean for you once you get that degree? Once you get your, whatever it is that you want. Once you start your business, what is that going to mean for you? Freedom, liberation, right? Maybe not happiness, because happiness, you got that right now, but it means that you can go ahead and support your family, yourself. It means that you have support, and you can create support, and you can give support. So, find that meaning. Number 3, decide. Decide is the most important part. If you don't decide, you're not going to cut off anything else. Everything else is just going to surround you. It's going to stay on you. You want to cut it off. Cut it off and stay focused on your goal. Alright, listen, I don't got much else. I got more stuff coming for you on the next video. I'm going to talk to you guys what I said on the last video, the strategy. We're going to talk about how to really make this work. We're going to talk about not having excuses. So, if you're like, I don't know how to not have excuses. Listen, Antonio, this is a little bit crazy. Super easy, super simple. Follow me on the next video. Much love and much peace. Enjoy the day. Live it with love, passion, whatever energy that you got. Live it the most today and each and every day. I love you all. Catch me on my next video. Thank you, guys.